Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I won't keep much of your time. My name is Domonique Flowers. I'm the first vice president for the Prince George's County PTA Council. I'll give you a real brief overview. We're basically the governing body for all PTAs in Prince George's County. We have 205 schools and we have about 123 active PTAs. And so our job is to assist PTAs at local schools with being in good compliance and making sure their tax forms are in and just assisting with elections and whatnot. So today what I'll be presenting it's called the Urban Family Engagement Network Community Engagement Curriculum. Let me explain that. So about 2 years ago, the National PTA granted Prince George's County a grant for $20,000. And this grant allows us to train parents on how to be effective advocates for their kids. And what we do is we put on presentations for parents in schools. And it's a free program. You know, we feed you, and the grant actually pays for feeding parents, child care, etc. And we've already done 2 cycles of this, and so we're going to be beginning this shortly. But that's what I'll be talking to you about tonight. But before I get to that, let me just give you an idea of what PTA is. And, sorry. As you can see, I'm not technology savvy, so. Okay, so this is basically just the history and mission of the PTA. We were founded in 1897. The Maryland chapter was actually founded in 1915, so we're about to celebrate our 100 years of existence in Maryland. But we were founded by 2 mothers, started as the National Congress of Mothers, and our overall purpose is to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. So basically, we want to make sure that parents have the resources they need to advocate for their children. That's why we came into existence. And I'll explain to you what that means. We have 2 goals, basically, as the PTA. So first is to make sure we equip parents with the tools to support their children's academic achievement or success. I'm kind of reading from here because these are official statements, so I've got to read them verbatim so you understand, and then I can kind of explain them. And secondly, we want to provide parents with leadership opportunities and skills. And so we want to make sure you have the knowledge to be effective advocates. We want to provide you with resources. Resources meaning knowledge about what's going on in your community, what's going on in your school, how you can actually take an active role in educating your children. Now, the grant I told you about a moment ago, this was a grant that was given to us 2 years ago, and normally what we do is we'll have a session, and these are our 12 focus areas, starting with the orientation and then ending with reflection as leaders. And we would do this, we would have every Saturday would focus on, I guess, 3 of these. And so, you know, the parents would come every Saturday, we'd have trainers come out, and so the first Saturday would be the orientation, and the next 2, then the next 2, and then so it's basically a month. And then we've been structuring this in different ways. Now, it stands to reason I can't present all of this to you tonight, or to this evening, so what I'll be doing is I'll be focusing more on number 2, parental rights and responsibilities, the orientation, talking about engaging father figures. I'm glad we have a male in here, so that's good. And the topic I usually cover is politics and education, so we'll go over a little bit about that. And forgive me, I'm going to have to go through this really fast. I wanted to kind of give you the slides that are the most pertinent regarding this presentation, and I'll try to leave about maybe 5 minutes for any questions you have. And a lot of this is not new, or it's not, it's fundamental, but it's not something that we didn't know already. It's just something that we want to remind parents about what part they can play. So parental involvement. So what is that? You know, studies have shown that in order for a child to succeed, the parent has to be involved. For those of you who aren't parents, I'm sorry to tell you this, but once you had a child, your life is, not to say your life is over, but basically you're making a sacrifice. And some of you may agree with that, but you have to make a sacrifice. I taught middle school in the district briefly, and I remember some kids who were basically raising their own siblings. The parent was never involved. And trust me, I understand some parents have to work 2 and 3 jobs, and they're not necessarily able to, but you have to make time. So this is what we believe parent involvement is. It's basically the process which parents grow in their ability to help their children receive the best education possible. Now that's general enough to give you some choices in how you can be involved with your child's education. Let's look at some of those choices. Now, of course, I'm here to talk about PTA, but there's several other choices. You can go to school meetings that your school has, parental advisory committees. There's parent-teach trainings that are offered by community organizations, PTAs, the school itself, the school site council, which some states have. I don't think Prince George's County has it. PTA and there's other organizations. So you have the ability to get involved somewhere. We all claim we're busy, but we'll make time for what's important. Trust me, I know I can.